Taken the Stig to his birthplace. Look, well, not quite his birthplace, that was Slovakia, but where the adoption centre, we could call it, can't we? Take him into the adoption centre where we adopted him. Look, oh, it's a bit windy, sorry. Right, let's get inside and have a look. We've come to see his baby brother. They bought out the I don't know if we're going to adopt two, but they bought out the 90, so let's go and have a look at the 90 at the launch event. Right, we've got gloves on. I've taken my mask off because there's no one else in here other than George. Right, we are going to have a look at the Defender 90. So we've got two to look at, okay? So, and they're slightly pre-production, so we won't pick any holes in the fine detail. Right, so this one here is a Saloon one. So this is a 4-seater Defender 90. Right, this one here is a commercial. So on this one you can get your tax back and put it through your accounts. So this is a 3-seater. Right, which one should we look at first? Let's look at the commercial first. Right, now there's a couple of interesting things. Right, let's have a look. Now I've noticed this one's on air suspension, so let's dive underneath the back and have a look. It's an odd place to start, but I'm wondering what's happening with the suspension. Let me just grab that. So yeah, if you look underneath, you see this is still on air suspension. So this is the same as my 110. All the rear suspension and everything looks the same. But obviously this one being and all the rear, from the rear, it all looks the same. Let me pass the camera. I'm pretty sure the rear light, this section, the rear door, is all the same as our other one. Now, this is an interesting thing, and we'll look at it when we get to the front. This one's got the camera in the rear antenna there. So the rear view mirror is actually a screen, not a mirror. And we'll see why that's handy. Right, so there you go. So this is now the inside of a commercial. So it's a bit dark and gloomy in here. Now, interestingly, I think to meet the rules, the tax rules as a commercial, you've got to have no rear seats and no rear windows. Now, interestingly, they've got a heavily tinted rear window, but lots of vans have a back window, but I don't think vans or commercial vans. So, although you've got the Alpine windows fitted here, we can see the Alpines, it's sort of been blanked off. Let me see if I get my torch actually. Let me see if we can. Now, you'll notice there is a sort of remnants of a door card. There's like an armrest and a speaker that's been sort of blanked off, and look, it looks like they've screwed over the side windows. So whether you could buy one of these and open them up a bit, but obviously you've got the much bigger boot space. This is interesting, we haven't got this on ours. It's a lockable. That's cool, look, oh look, and it's on
hydraulics.
Oh, that would be so much better on mine. I'd really like that on the 110. Because we've got this massive load space area. Yeah. I mean, our space is bigger than this.
Definitely, yeah.
And this is where I lost my phone, if anyone saw that video.
It's got,
look, it's got a nice backstop and a hinge. That's really nice. And that's lockable. So I do like that. That's all cool. It's got an AC power outlet here. They've got the rear lights. It's a bit European.
Yeah.
But there we go. But that's quite a cool feature. That was available on the 110. They still haven't addressed the rear visibility, so which is quite an interesting point. So on the rear door here, they haven't got any lights or any warning. Okay, let's dive around this.
One thing I have to say is I really like these rims. Now, I know they're just an option, but I think they look so good on this car.
Obviously they're 20-inch rims. Obviously we're still looking for an 18-inch rim for some off-road tyres. So you've got this big clean glass panel here. Now obviously it hides some pillar here and at the back, but we'll have a look at that one.
I'm showing how it comes up the window.
Now look at the door. They've made the door. Now on the old Defender, someone's going to tell me I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the front doors on the 90 are the same as the front doors on the bigger 110. But on this one, I'm sure my door stops about here. They've really fattened this out. And if you come around and look at the door card, you'll see my door card forms pretty much the end of my door. But they've stretched all this out here, made it a lot longer. And it almost looks a bit odd. The door card almost looks a bit small, like designed for a smaller door.
Yeah.
It is. Right, let's jump inside or just... The dash all seems the same, but what you'll see is we've got this 3-seat configuration. It's quite dark.
No, we're doing well in the low light.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's got this jump seat in the middle. Now, obviously, you can't see through because you've got like a grid at the back there. We can't see through the grid. It's like a prison van. But obviously, what we've got this rear view mirror here is actually a screen. So we can't turn it on. But this is a screen looking out the rear camera. So this is actually really handy for this van. All the other controls, so this has got air suspension, it's got all your off-road, so you can raise and lower your suspension as you could. Here you go, you can see the illuminated buttons.
Yeah. I'll talk about illumination quickly. Down here, the new USB ports are illuminated.
Yeah, look, you can see that, they glow in the dark. Now we're pretty sure, we'll have a look when we get back in another car to drive home, but I'm pretty sure our 110. So it looks like they're still trying to improve and modernise some features, which I think is cool. They've got all the charging points and everything else like we've got on the 110. Right, the overhead console, all that looks the same. So let's move round to the front. So I think from the wing here for you, I think this is all the same as our car. Obviously you'll have the headlight options. This has got a chrome. Actually, ours is silver. I quite like the chrome in it, but obviously the higher spec models have the illumination, the signature lights in there. Right, so this is the Saloon. Right, now I started on the suspension on this one. Let's have a look at the suspension on this. Right. So you'll see this is coil sprung. Now a lot of people will be happy about this. I love air suspension. I wouldn't swap mine for coil sprung, but it does give a certain robustness, a certain ease of fixing in the field if you get problems with the air suspension, especially as they get older. But with coil sprung, you know, you just replace the coil. So that's brilliant, but you can't go up and down. What rims is this one? This one's got 20-inch rims as well. Now, right, let's have a wander around. Let's have a look in the back again. So again, this is the rear of this one and the rear of the commercial. You wouldn't be able to tell. On this one, again, it's got the rear view. It's got the rear view built into the rear camera. Right. So you'll notice straight away that this is where your 110 and your 90 differ, is in boot space. Because this is a 4-seater or 5-seater, just like my 110, but we haven't got the space in the back. They've got the nice, this is an accessory item, they've got the polished stainless steel tread plate on the back. Right, and let's have a look. So okay, we've got a pretty minimal, we've just got our jack and our tools in there. Right, and no locking thing. Right, let's have a look. Anything? Right, we can start. This one's got a really trick sunroof. It's got like a fold back sunroof, and it's got quite a, George was saying, it's got quite a leisure feel to it, hasn't it? Almost like a Jeep Wrangler feel to it.
Yeah.
But actually, let's jump in, George. Let's go in. I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to put you in. You can be the guinea pig. Hey, George, you're a tallish lad, aren't you, George? How tall are you? 5'10", aren't you? So you can pull the seat, and obviously you've only got 2 doors. So you've got the typical tilt and slide forward. Right, and let's have a look how much room and space. So considering you're a big lad, George, there's ample leg room. I mean, you've sat in the back of the 110 numerous times, and it's more spacious. It's more. I mean, obviously we've got the sunroof, which is fantastic, but we've also got these much bigger rear windows. You haven't got the square at the rear, so you've got it's actually quite a light and spacious interior, and you've got this flat. You haven't got much of a transmission tunnel like you get in a lot of cars. You've got a big flat area there. The seats obviously fold down. You've got some extra drink holders, and you've got some extra I mean, this is all quite nicely finished for the back seat. You've got nice grabs, speakers.
You've got USB ports down here as well.
You've got all the USB ports like on the 110. Yeah, you've got all your charging points and USB. So
What's really nice, I think, is this kind of just the light in here. You've got this massive window. You make use of the Alpine windows up here, because on the 110 they're cut off,
back, aren't they?
Yeah,
and then you're right, they're cut off.
They're not used in the back
They've got
seats.
a bit down the middle of them. We'll have a look, but that is one continuous sort of little panoramic slip.
And then as well, obviously with the added sunroof, it's
That is cool.
The light is amazing.
No, that is definitely cool. Right, now this one's interesting. Now we were just saying, if you lean over, George. So we were saying that you'll notice that this one's on coil spring, so we haven't got the up-down suspension, so that's just blanked off there. We can't turn these on, so we're not sure what other features it's got. We've got the screen rear view mirror.
It's just turned on.
That is turned on, that's weird.
Go on, run behind there.
What's that? Going right, yeah. Everything else is the same as far as I can see at the front here. But this is nice. I like this interior as well. This dark grey and the mixture of the or like not Hessian, but the rough cotton fabric with the. And I don't think these are leather. I think they call them vegan leather now.
You couldn't tell.
No. Oh, it's not. It's saying no. There's no smart key. Is this illuminated on this one, George? I don't think it is. So I think somehow that commercial's got illuminated.
Maybe that's an option.
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe we're just being a bit geeky. Right.
Yeah.
Who knows? Right. Let's have a wander around the front. Right. Before we go around the front, obviously this one hasn't got the middle seat like the commercial. Now the middle seat was an option on the 110. But we haven't got it. We've got the center console, and I love the center console. I can fit a laptop in there. We've got a drink. It's got a massive area here, so I quite like this area. It's actually quite cool. But obviously for the commercial, it makes sense to have three of you. Often you need three people on the job, which is good. Tricky foot pedals I noticed on that one, a little geeky thing. They're quite nice foot pedal covers. I think that's an option. Right. One other thing here. Look at this. This has got an extra reflector. I think this is a really good idea. It's a big door. When you open that, I mean, you're going to need a big parking space because that's a big door to go there. So I think this extra reflector is a good idea. I might even have a look at that and see if we can get something similar to sell for the 110 model. Right, now let's cruise around the front. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this bonnet's the same. We've got the same checker plate. We've got the same headlights. I can't see anything different. If you saw this coming down the road in front of you, I don't think you'd know that was a 90 or a 110. Right, I think that concludes our whistle-stop tour. Now, I was hoping for some pricing information because I think everyone's hoping that the 90 is going to be a more affordable and more accessible Defender for us all. But we haven't got that pricing yet. We haven't got the specs detailed yet. So we need to wait for that. So keep an eye on the Land Rover website and we'll keep in touch with the dealer here. And there you go, our quick review of the new Defender 90. Now we're just about to leave and we just concluded the video and we looked over there at the orange beast, the V8 SVR. Now, are they going to do a 90 with a V8 in it? That would just be...
That's almost a G-Wagon. Do you know what I mean?
That is a G-Wagon eater.
Yeah.
No offence, G-Wagon lovers.
I mean, it's got the no square there.
George. Now, George knows a lot more about the G-Wagons than I do. They're quite in thing at the moment with the youth and everything, and all these Yanimizes and all these people love their G-Wagons. Respect to you, Yanimize. Do they do a short wheelbase G-Wagon, George?
I don't believe so.
I don't know. So I mean, that's where Land Rover could actually, with this, it could actually...
A Wrangler / G-Wagon.
I mean, what? It's a good question. What short wheelbase 4x4s out there? Obviously, it's good for the car makers to make the big Land Cruisers, the big, Nissan Patrols, the big G-Wagons. But some people want and actually they're more manoeuvrable. The 90 is a shorter wheelbase car. If you're towing, is more manoeuvrable. So maybe Land Rover have got a sort of head start. Maybe if they can the 90 might not be as a competitive market. They might have the lead on that. So there we go, short wheelbase. Good things, bad things. Let's put some notes in there, put some comments in the comments below.